Hello, everybody. This is Ed O'Brien, and this is the We Run the State podcast, of course, the third of three podcasts for this week. So glad you guys are joining me tonight. We have class of 2026 defensive lineman Robert Edwards. He's out of Emos High School in Pennsylvania. He recently committed to the Richmond Spiders down in Virginia. Um, he had five offers before committing. One of the most nimble 6'2", 300-pound dudes I've seen outside of let's say my boy Lloyd Hill out of Still High. And I'm saying that because my man also plays basketball. If you could Google his highlights, he's actually running a point. So I'm looking forward to talk with him tonight. Keep saying but anyway, I first met him at my All-State Preps camp last this past May, last May. It got rained out a little bit. Um, wasn't a lot of offensive linemen there, but the most important thing was that he had a chance to work out, and he was impressive. I thought even back then he moved real good for a big guy, and I thought he definitely was Division One material. And he ends up getting some FCS offers and ultimately commits to an FCS school. So good. Glad everything worked out for him. Before I bring him in, I know that some of the athletes have probably seen rankings from different websites and things of that nature. I know I work for both Prep Red Zone and 24/7 Sports. And a lot of times I have to report and mention kids' rankings and things of that nature because that's just the nature of the beast. But if you ask me, do I care? I'm going to tell you no. I don't care about anybody's rankings. I do care if kids get offers, but like, do I care how many or am I keeping track? No, because it's not my job. I'm just here to shine light on these athletes, help them get exposure, tell their stories, and call it a day. I don't have a problem with rankings. I think that's a good way to put lists out. But if you ask me, I don't. It don't move me one way or another. So that's how I look at it. So anyway, I'm going to bring my man in, Robert Edwards. Mr. Edwards,
Oh, how are you?
can you hear me? I can't hear you at the moment.
Yeah, I can hear you. Could you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna do a quick reintroduction, but I appreciate you taking the time to come on tonight.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. So again, uh, everybody, of course, you know this is Ed O'Brien from All State Preps, 24/7 Sports and Prep Red Zone. This is the we are. I'm sorry, this is the Rerun the State podcast, and I have a special guest, newly Richmond Spiders football commit, Robert Edwards. Mr. Edwards, thank you for joining me tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad. Thank you for working with me as far as scheduling this interview. I know we were supposed to do it yesterday, but I'm glad we were able to work this out. So, um, what are you guys doing right now? Talking about your football team as a team right now. I know heat acclimation takes place next week. Have you
Yeah.
guys been doing anything for the past couple of weeks as a team?
Oh yeah. So us personally, we've been training all off season. Like we get the month of December off, and then we get the break like when the new year starts, and then we just keep training. We've been doing a lot of conditioning 3 times a week this summer, and then we lift every day. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. We have a practice on Monday, so we've been getting ready. This was actually our off week this past week, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right. Well, first, before we talk about your upcoming season, let's talk about what I just mentioned a little bit earlier. You've recently committed to the University of Richmond. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay, because the fans will get on my back if I say that wrong. So, and I believe you committed on July 24th. What made the University of Richmond a right fit for you, both academically and athletically?
So I actually start off academically. So I want to be a pre-law major in college. So because I want to be a defense attorney when I'm older. So
Okay.
they're a really high academic school, and like it just really stood out to me as far as academics go. Now, athletically, Coach Wood and Coach Noel, they're doing a great job with the D tackles, and Coach Wood's the defensive coordinator. He's just doing a great job. They're one of the best defenses in the FCS every year. They compete in the FCS playoffs every year, and hopefully, when I'm there, we can compete for a national championship. So, yeah.
And when did you take your official visit?
I actually didn't OV there yet. They do their OVs after the season. Yeah.
Okay. Did you? Okay, so did you? Were you able to camp there during the off
Uh,
season?
no, I didn't camp there. I went on an unofficial visit, like
Okay.
3, 4 weeks ago.
Okay. So, what were some of the key moments or conversations that led to your commitment?
So Coach Wood came to my school like when they were first allowed to. I forgot what the date was, like really early in the off season. And he just sat down and talked to me about like all the NFL players he's had and like everything like that. Like he was just very honest with me and like what he thinks I could be and what he could build me into. And like obviously like a lot of people said that to me, but just his genuine like he was just so genuine with everything he said. And then he doubled back again and came back to my school in March. And like I just thought that was like a true tell of the person he was because he didn't have to do that. Come to my school twice, and he couldn't offer me at that spot because my grades my freshman sophomore year weren't as good as they were this year. This year I had a 3.65. Before that, they weren't as good as that. So now they were able to offer me academically, and that's like really where the right fit came in. It was like just like putting on the shoe, you know.
Right. And so you mentioned your grades weren't, where you wanted them to be your freshman, sophomore years.
Mhm.
If you don't mind talking about it, what enabled you to turn that around? Like, what are some things that you did to turn that situation around?
So I actually just I've never been like a dumb kid, obviously, but I just didn't take school as serious as I should have my freshman and sophomore year. There was a lot of like external factors. Like I got pulled up to varsity as a freshman. I thought I was like, like the big man on campus, like untouchable, and then got that GPA back, and I was like, okay, I gotta lock in a little bit. But what I did, I just looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, this is my last chance to make my dreams come true. So I can't let grades be the thing that affect me the most. So I just locked in the classroom, did all my homework, got good grades on tests, and that's how I was able to get my GPA up.
That's awesome. What what are what are some things that the coaching staff told you? And I'm talking about Richmond, as far as, well, one, the things they like about you as a prospect, and two, how they see you fitting into their defensive scheme.
So they told me that they like the way I move at my size because I'm over 300 pounds, but I play point guard in basketball. So it was like just one of those things. Like they were just like, we've never really seen anybody do that before. So they love my athleticism, they love my bend, and they just love how violent I play. And as far as like a scheme fit, they see me playing three tech, two Y, just like both D tackle spots because they run a 4-man defensive line. So they see me playing in there, and they just want me to wreak havoc. Yeah.
All right. And now that now that the recruitment process is over, what is one thing you liked about the process? And if there is one thing you dislike, what is one thing that you disliked about the process?
One thing I loved about the process was just getting an opportunity to visit all these great universities. I mean, like a lot of people didn't really like just like look up to me in the fact that like I was able to get all these opportunities, see all these schools, and like just really get like to put my feet in doors where a lot of people haven't stepped in before. So that was one thing that I really liked about it, just like getting to see all these places. One thing I didn't like was some coaches weren't necessarily genuine with me throughout the process. Like they just like kind of like edged me along a little bit. And then like when it come like push came to shove, like somebody would get chosen over me or like I wouldn't get the offer. Like that was one thing that kind of just like messed with me a little bit. But obviously I'm grateful for every coach I've talked to. So
Right. And so how does it feel to have that decision, off your shoulders going into your senior year?
oh, it feels great. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so grateful for everybody at the University of Richmond.
Hey, that's excellent. So let's talk about your off season a little bit. And you said you've been training, I think you said 3 times a week.
Yeah.
What are some things that you worked on? I'm sorry, you've been working on during the off season as far as your training goes.
Yeah, so on the days I don't train with my school, I go to Carson Line Clinic in Philly. Bruce Carson, he's a great defensive line trainer. He really helps me
Oh
with my
man,
pass rush. Yeah.
he
Yeah, he
does that.
really helps me
He's
with my
a man
pass rush.
of those scars. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's just a great guy, great people. It's a lot of good competition because a lot of Division 1 players come back down and work with us high school guys, and like just give us like some tips that they found out about like going against like these giant linemen. Because it's not like high school ball where you're going against like a 5'10", 220 pound guard. It's like real football now. So they were just telling me how to get under him, like all that stuff. So I'm really excited to see how I progress even more because this is my second year going to him now.
Okay, and if you don't mind bragging about yourself a little bit, what do you think some of your strengths are as a defensive lineman?
I feel that just like I could be anyone who's in front of me, to be honest. Like I just feel like if you put somebody in front of me, I'm gonna try to like kill him, honestly. Like that's just my motto. Like that's just what I
Right.
want to do. Like I play with violence, I play with intensity. Like I just want to run through somebody's face. So that's one thing I like about myself.
All right, and you mentioned this earlier, and I mentioned this before I brought you on. You play basketball as well. Well, first, how many other sports do you play?
I do track and field, I throw shot put, and I play basketball, yeah.
Now, when you do you think did any of the coaches during your recruiting process mention like I guess did they say they like that about you as far as you being a multi-sport athlete?
Every single coach said they liked that about me. Like that was like obviously honestly one of like the main things because I'm like not like the tallest dude, so the fact that I'm over 300 pounds and I can move at my size was just one thing that they were like, okay, wow, that was like the tipping point.
Now, I was telling the audience, you know, I first saw you well, as far as in person, first saw you at my camp, and I said this kid can move. At that time, I didn't even know you played basketball, so I saw your basketball highlights. He, that people in Harrisburg know what I'm talking about. The only person I've seen move like at your size, move like you, close was Lloyd Hill. Guy played kid played late 2000s, 2010, early 2010s. Anyway, what was basketball your first love or?
Yeah. So actually, funny story about basketball. I played on like the EYBL like junior league circuit my eighth grade year for Team Final Red, and so like that was like one of the moments where I was like, okay, I know basketball's not for me because I was playing on that team. I was playing the 1 and the 3, and everybody
Okay.
was like 6'6", 6'8". I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just stick to football.
Oh man, so being a multi-sport athlete, well, has any of those sorry, has any of those sports helped you as far as your progress as a football player?
Yeah, so basketball helped me with my explosiveness and just like lateral movement stuff because like basketball is a lot of footwork. I don't think a lot of people like really realize that, but basketball is just a game of footwork, to be honest. Like it's just getting to a spot, pivoting, passing, jumping, shooting a jump shot. So like it helps you so much with football. And shot put again helps me with my explosiveness as well because in a glide you have to bend and explode to get the ball as far as possible.
All right, and one last question as far as Richmond goes. Do you plan to enroll early?
I don't think they do early enrollees, so I'm just gonna finish high school and then go in probably like June-ish, yeah, of
Okay.
next year.
All right. So going into your senior season, what are some? Well, first, what are some of your team's goals, and what are some of your individual goals?
So we want to compete for a district championship this year. Last year we fell literally one step short. We lost in the district championship game to Parkland. A lot of things went wrong in that game that shouldn't have, but like we live and we like move on from things. So I feel like this year we attacked it a little bit differently in the off season. We had a championship mindset this whole off season that we want to be there and we know what it takes to get there. Now we just have to get over that hump. So that's my team goal, and I think that's all my teammates' goal is to win a district championship and get a chance to either play St. Joe's Prep or Imhotep in the first round of states. yeah, but individually, I mean, I won, I think, every possible award in PA last year, so I want to repeat that, but I want to get my shot at the Gatorade Player of the Year. Like, I don't know if any defensive lineman has ever won it before, but I don't know. I just feel like if I do what I need to do, I feel like I can get there. And I also want to win All-State MVP instead of just getting first team All-State. Yeah.
That's what's up. How going into your senior year? How would you describe your leadership role on this year's team? And Talk about how it's evolved since your underclassmen years.
Oh yeah, so I feel like my leadership has definitely evolved from this year to like even last year. Last year there was a lot of seniors that just had vocal presence in the locker room, and like we had a Division 1 guy in Rafael Torreiro. We had a really good leader in Riley Bechtel. So I didn't really have to talk much. I just let my play on the field like stand for itself. But this year, obviously, the younger guys came up looking up to me because now I'm that Division 1 guy that they all want to be. So just talking to them, giving them a lot of guidance, telling them what they should and shouldn't do in the whole like social media era and like getting all their grades right. And like I don't want them to have to go what I went through and have to just press their junior year for good grades. And I feel like for the most part they all listen to me. So I just feel like it evolved in that way. Like I'm like the older brother now instead of being like the little kid who just happened to be good.
Right. But they listen to you or else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who have been some of your biggest influences and supporters that have helped you, you know, during your current football and life journey? If you don't mind talking about those people.
Yeah, so firstly, it has to be my dad. I mean, you met my dad before. He's a great guy. He drives me everywhere. He provides for me. He gives me all my food, because I got to eat. But yeah, like he taught me how to play basketball. He taught me how to do everything that I do. So I'm just so beyond grateful for him and the person he is. Because like, as like a lot of people know, like fathers aren't always present in a kid's life, but I feel like it's so important that he was because it shaped me to be the man who I am today. And also I just want to thank my coach because my coach like he's been hard on me. And like at first I didn't understand why he was so hard on me, but like now I get it because life isn't easy, so why should he be easy on me in practice? So like I just feel like he's just a great guy and like I really am so appreciative for him. And like also my trainers, my uncle Obi, he's been training me my whole life. Like he's like the real reason why I'm so athletic because I've been doing these movements since I was like 3 years old. So it's just like been like one of those things that like I just like grew up doing. Like I've been doing ladder drills like forever. So I just like I had to pick three people. It would probably be them. Yeah.
Okay. And last question, if you don't mind, and everybody's recruiting process obviously is different. What would be some advice that you would give underclassmen prospects as far as the recruitment process, how they might want to handle things? I think you alluded to a little bit. I think you alluded to a little bit of it earlier in some of your comments. So if you don't mind, giving out some wisdom.
Yeah. So most definitely, I think number one it should always be your grades because like grades open doors you didn't even think were possible. Like I had Ivy League schools reaching out to me after I got my grades up. It's just like just kind of like eye opening. It's like wow, like I could really get my foot in these doors. So I think grades are probably number one, and just let your play speak for itself, and everything else I feel like will take care of it. But like obviously one of the main things in this like social media era is posting on Twitter and like getting your name out there, being popular. Like at first, like I wasn't like really like into all that stuff because I was like, why do I have to be popular on social media to get offers? But like it's just like coaches want to see that you care, and if like you posting on Twitter shows that you care, then they'll be like, okay, he's a baller, he's working hard, he's doing all these things, he's doing the right things, he's helping his community, doing all that. So I just feel like those three things are honestly like what could get you recruited in the best way.
All right, Robert. Well, look, this has been a great interview. I truly have enjoyed my conversation with you, and I think you have a big future ahead of you. I think
Like,
definitely think the sky's the limit, and I think definitely once you get to college, you'll probably become twice as good. But that's just me talking. So hey, I wish you the best of luck this upcoming season, and of course, I'll be keeping tabs. And if you need anything, you know where I'm at.
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem at all. I'll tell your dad I said, "What's up?"
I will do.
All right, have a blessed night.
You too.
Thanks.